so this is day 2. As you can see, we're back on the rear suspension now. It's because the day after I fitted these, I'm taking them off again because as I was about to leave my house this morning, the parcel turned up. But what I needed yesterday when I fitted the coilovers was the new rear dust covers and new rear bump stops. So yeah, they're going on the rear shock absorbers to see stop them getting corroded and dirt getting out, and you need bump stops as well. You don't really want to put them out. Makes me think that it should be done. And then just like that, you have new bump stop, new cover, new shock absorber, new top hat, new hardware, all brand new. That, I must admit, is really like that. So they've now protected and covered with the bump stop there. So we're going to completely bottom out. So let's get this back on the car. Covered up now, actually, all complete now. I haven't got nothing over there anymore. Suspension completely done on the back. Cracking on the front today. Stay tuned for that. Yeah. Welcome back everyone, how are you all doing? This is part 2 of doing the coilovers on the Fiesta. I don't know how I've uploaded this, so I might have done it like a day or two after I've done the rear. I've driven the rear now for about, I don't know, about 2 or 3 days. I can't believe how much it's transformed really. Even with just standard ST150 shocks at the front and lowering springs, having a stiffer rear end has definitely made the front a bit more lively. Just has sharpened the whole car up, and it's so flat now. But it's going to completely transform once the other coilovers on the front go on, and all the new top hats, dust covers, drop links. I've got shortened drop links going on as well. Yeah, all getting done in this episode. I've already done the driver's side. I cracked on with that because I wanted to get over it and get on with it. And I'm just going to show you how I've done that on the passenger side. But I have got it spot on. As you can see, my hands are filthy. I've got the height spot on. I wanted to go like an inch or two lower, so it was 35mm originally with lowering springs, so I've gone down to 37, I think it is. So I've got it bang on, and it looks great. I'm really happy. It might even drop a little bit more once this coilover goes on. It's been so far pretty straightforward on the front and the back. A few issues with some bolts as to be expected, but it is what it is on an older car, just rusty, corroded bolts. But luckily for me, I've been in here and done it all before, so I did copper grease, and I have saved myself a lot of headaches and hassle with trying to fight bolts. So they are coming off because I did it last time. And there's lots going on the Fiesta all the time, and you want to see a lot more stuff. Getting in on Instagram, I can't stress that enough. It's AJ Focus. You will see a lot more behind the scenes. Pictures, videos on a daily basis, stuff that happens on the Fiesta all the time on a daily basis is uploaded there, so you get to see first insights before YouTube. Otherwise you're just hanging around on YouTube forever until I upload content. So see it first on Instagram, get on there, and AJ Focus on Facebook page. I'm going to crack on. I mean, at the moment it's slightly jacked up, but it looks good. Let's get to it. Right, here we go. Suspension time yet again. Sorry about the wind, because it's suddenly got really windy. It's really nice. It's still muggy out here. I think it's about 21, 22 degrees. It's still quite warm, but it is slightly raining, which is nice. It's cooling the air down. It isn't that height normally because I've got the jack under there. It sits a lot lower now and much nicer. I'll show you. I've got some new stuff. I'll show you in a minute what's going on. You can see all the new hardware in there, shiny, perfect height. Yeah, I'm really happy with how it sits. The height is perfect. I might do a little bit of adjustment here down the line once it's settled a bit more, because it might even drop a little bit more. It might be a bit uncomfortable after a while, but we'll see how we get on with that. But the height at the moment for me is perfect. I've leveled it out slightly. It's got a little bit of a rake at the back because I don't want it too level, but it's better than it was before, because before it was up quite high. So now I've sort of just brought the back slightly further down to match the front. But guys, if you haven't done so already, click subscribe, click the bell notification button so you can stay up to date on all future content. Right, back to today's video. Enough of that, let's get on with today's video. First things first, jack your car up, put an axle stand under it, remove your wheel. After you remove your wheel, I'm not going to go too in depth for this because obviously I have done an install video on my springs before, but it's just basically what you got to undo is remove the brake line, remove the drop link because I'm replacing the drop links with shortened ones, then knock out your tie rod arm, take that out. So I can't feel any movement in that, but apparently I was at the garage over there, he said he could feel a little bit of movement in that, which is why I got new ones. Oh well, if it's moving, it's moving. It's really clean under here. Considering I've done Manchester trip and that, really clean. Anyway, yeah, so it's 15, two of those bolts, one back there for the lower struts, 15 as well, and that's also 15, so it's all 15s on here, nice and easy. It might be a bit different on yours because I have changed my drop links before. These are genuine Ford ones on here, and all this is for sale, the shock, spring and the Ford drop link. Yeah, and the rear springs as well, all for sale. If this video is probably been unloaded, they're probably gone now. But yeah. Anyway, I'm just going to remove my brake line, remove all these sensors as well, take off the drop link, and then I will show you after what it looks like. I keep forgetting I can go POV. Go on, off you come. There we go. Bit greasy. And then we'll get onto the one at the back, at the bottom. So just swapping over. It's a bit shorter. So I can get to the one at the bottom, at the back. Right, next thing is get this tie rod off, and then come on. There we go. I knew it wasn't tight because I did it last time. Yeah. Right, next thing to do is remove your tie board like that. After that, remove your drop link. Right, after you've disconnected your brake line, ouch, there's a stone I laid on, your brake line, there, just move out of the way, your ABS sensor, your track rod end, you want to get your jack and support underneath the wishbone because now that's just going to flop around. And then at the back, now we've got to undo the 15mm bolt that holds the strut in place because the strut has a little hook like that, so as the bolt goes through the hub it goes through the hook as well, so obviously so when the suspension's moving around the strut does not just pop out of that bloody hub because that'd be bad, which is why that little hook's there. It holds the shock absorber and the spring in place. So you need to sort of remove the bolt and then just tap it and it should just fall out. Fingers crossed. The other side was a bit of a git earlier, and then you've got to put loads of weight. Just got to push this down, remove the jack in a minute. You've got to push that down and try and wriggle that strut to get out of that bloody hole, and then undo your bolts from the top, and then should be able to just remove it in one piece, but fingers crossed. So let me undo that 15mm bolt and I'll get back to you in a sec. Bit of extra leverage. It's amazing how an extra bit of bar just makes it so light under a real tough bolt. It's lovely. It's really nice. Alright, let me get this bolt out because it's super long. Okay, got the bolts. Right, I'm going to get a wire brush on it and brush that up as well. Right, next thing I'll do now is lower the jack down give it a tap around the top of the hub, and hopefully that will just start falling out the hole. Fingers crossed. I can't cross my fingers, but fingers crossed. Oh wow, that was really hard to get out of there. I got it out though. God damn, you need two people sometimes. You need someone to stand on that and someone to wriggle it out. God, how'd I actually manage to get my foot on this part here and push down on it? Wriggle the shit out of it. Got a hammer in the bottom of the strut, not the actual, just the bit that the spring sits on. That's a nice tough bit of metal there. I've got it out, it's in there now, so I need to disassemble it. So I need the top mount off of it and the bump stop. And these are coming in useful, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut that cover off, because that's the right thickness and length I need to go on the new coilover. The ones that are on the other struts, this one, as you can see, is too big to fit over the coilover, so I need a narrow one. So yeah, but I'll have to use the bump stop and a top hat to put on the new coilover, which are still in the box here. So, and the drop link, as you can see, that's the other cover, so it's just too thick to go through the those coils. So the rear shock absorbers are still useful, you know they're broken. So that's what I've done to the other one. I just chopped the top off like that, because that's where the bump stop would have fitted in there originally, but because it's a front shock absorber, the bump stop's normally quite thick, so it wouldn't fit through there on the thinner cover. So I had to chop that bit off, and then the bump stop fits through the thinner cover, and then I just glued it onto the bump stop, stop it from moving around. That's what I'll show you in a minute how I've done it though. First things first now, I'll have to get the spring clamps on there and take the top hat off and convert it onto the new coilover. But I do need to adjust the coilover as well in a minute as well. Okay, so I've got them on there. So if you're like me and you suffer and get annoyed with the centre of that spinning, the best thing to do is get a spanner that has an angle on it like that. That will then go inside there like that, and then get a hex piece that goes in the middle of it, and then you can hold it, stops the strut from spinning in the middle, and then you can uncrack it off with a spanner. But it has to be one of those spanners that has like a kink in it like that. So yeah, I'm going to get that off now. Next time you see this, it should be apart. So moving on to the strut, I got it all apart. As you can see now, I'm putting a load of copper grease on the threads, so it makes life easier later on if you're going to adjust the height of the car. These shock absorbers are galvanised as well, so they won't rust, but it's not going to stop dirt from sitting to it, unfortunately. So yeah, I'm just putting a load of copper grease all over it, like so. And then I'm just going to adjust it to the height I had it on the car on the other side. And then put it back together, and I've got to go, guys. I've got to go because I didn't realise what time it is. It's now 5:30. I've got to be at my brother's for a barbecue at 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock, he said. So I've got half an hour to get back to my house, have a quick shower, get ready, and then to my brother's, which he just lives around the corner. So I ain't got a lot of time, so I've got to crack on with this, and next time you see it, guys, it should be all together. Right, assembly time. So next time you see this, guys, it should be like this. And we're done. So there we go then, guys. God damn, that's taken me a few hours to do all that. Yeah, coilovers are on, front and back, now done. New drop links, shortened drop links on there as well. They're not that much shorter than the standard ones, but they are a little bit, because I can tell. I did measure it, it's probably about that much, so definitely shortened. And yeah, that was really difficult to get that one in, to seat in there. I was hitting it and everything, and it just would not seat. So I put as much force on the bottom and compressed it up as far as it can go until the car weight was starting to push on it, and I just gave it a good wriggle and it just dropped in. Oh, God, I was at 30 bloody minutes trying to get that in there. But yeah, done. Happy days. I really have to pack up now before I get going, so I'm really late now. And coilovers are on. I can't wait to see and feel what it feels like. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to jack the car down, measure the height so they're both the same on each side, and then get ready to go out. And I'll show you that in a second, so just stay tuned for that then, guys. Let me just tidy up all my mess, just like this. So welcome back everyone, this is now day 2. This is the next day after I fitted the coilovers. You saw me installing, I think, and then I sort of ended it there, and then now this part's added on to the end of the video. Sorry about the wind, it's really windy today. A bit blue skies and cloudy, but it's nice and cooler because we've had really hot weather the last few days. So yeah, I thought I had the right height, as I said yesterday, or when I said on the part of the video earlier. I had the right height. It is the right height at first, but like I said, the springs settle overnight, and I came down to my car this morning and it dropped even more. And yesterday on the way home, driving home, it was just bouncing. Obviously the shock absorbers yet nothing's bedded in, so coming out of my state is nice smooth roads, but the car's just constantly bouncing, so I'm guessing it's sort of, I don't know, all the fluid started moving around and getting where it needs to get to in the shock absorbers, and it sort of stopped bouncing after a while. So it's too bouncy for me, and also it's too stiff for me, and it's too low as well at the front. I kept catching the inside wheel arch, so I couldn't go on full lock last night, park up. So I'll come back over here. As you can see, I've had wooden planks on there because my car is too low to get the jack under it, so I've driven off on the planks, jacked the car up, and I've just finished adjusting the height on the coilovers. So yesterday, this part of the tyre here, which is where the tread is, you can see now is exposed, was actually up there. So I couldn't even get my finger in there, I was like that with it. So the tyre was probably about here, and I couldn't really get my finger in there because it's touching the arch. So I've risen it a couple of inches, and one or about 2-3 inches higher than it was originally. So now I have a bit more, I'll get my hand up in there now, on either side. It's still quite slammed, but hopefully now that's a better comfortable ride. Maybe we'll see. If not, I'll come back and I'll raise it again. There's always room to adjust it high or low. So overall though, I'm not too sure about coilovers, as you know. I like springs and comfortableness and lowering shocks. Coilovers was a bit gamble, and I know they've only done about 6 or 7 miles, so I've got to let them bed in and settle. And hopefully, once it starts doing its thing, it should be a little bit more comfortable. But at the moment, it's firm, but it is kind of forgiving. But it has definitely stiffened up the car. I can definitely feel the stiffness. There's no body roll anymore at all. The Learn shortened drop link, has definitely brought that anti-roll bar up to a little bit more tighter. You don't feel any more roll. Really tightened the chassis up on this thing, but I have, when I was adjusting the coilovers ago, you know, on the last footage you saw me add those plastic covers from the rear shock absorbers. Well, that's what's left of them. As you can see, they got crumpled and crushed by the springs as they lowered down. Look at that one, completely crushed. Also, what I was doing under there, very hard to get in there, so I was cutting most of it off. And then, yeah, you see it's been crushed by the spring as it's been squashed down. I don't know why I've done that, because it looked like when I got on the car and it looked like it had a lot of room, but I'm guessing once the suspension's moving, it's just getting in the way. So the best way I got that off was to use a heat gun very quickly, just try and flex the plastic so then I can pull it out, cut it and pull it out. Obviously don't hold the heat gun in there too long, because otherwise it will knacker your shock absorber. Height wise though, I'm definitely happy with it. Definitely happy with it. There's a nice stance to it now. So yeah, I'm going to end the video here then, guys. Thanks very much for watching the install video on my coilovers on my Fiesta. Sorry about the wind. Yeah, thanks very much for watching. Remember, like the video, it really does help. And remember to subscribe if you are new, I would really appreciate it. I'm getting a lot of views, but I'm not getting a lot of subs, so if you're watching it, please subscribe. It is so simple down the bottom, and also don't forget to click the bell notification button. That would definitely help keep you up to date with my videos. So yeah, this has been the coilovers on the Fiesta, and I must say I'm really happy. It's a bit like Marmite, it's that sort of, you either like it or you don't, but I'm in sort of in between. So yeah, at the moment I'm just winging it, and like you can see with the vent back there. Jeez, made a clean mess. Yeah, so I'll see you in the next video, guys. Thanks very much for watching. Remember, follow me on Instagram, that's where you want to see all of the news, all of the modifications that I get done on a daily basis. So Instagram's AJ Focus, it's on the screen, and I'll see you on my next video. Thanks very much for watching, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day, your afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. This is AJ Focus. Peace out. I like that. Very nice. See you guys soon.